Hey everybody, this is Anthony with Anthony's Horror More, and today we're going to do an unboxing of the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And I can tell you already, I got a nice spine slash right there, and the loose disc of death. Oh, you gotta love it. Yeah, I just got this, I literally just got this from my mailbox like a few minutes ago, and I unboxed it. I just took it out of the box. I haven't taken it out of the plastic or anything yet, but I took it out of the box and there was no bubble wrap. And which, is surprising because usually Best Buy does put bubble wrap in the box. Not a ton, but they'll put like, a few, of the little like, bubble, just a little bit of it or whatever, like across the top, just to make sure it can't move around too much. But this had zero bubble wrap in it, and I can already see the spine slash right there. I don't know if you guys can see it because the glare, my face is in the way. Maybe if I hide my face in the glare. Well, you'll see it when I open it. All right, so let's open this bad boy up. Let's pray that the disc isn't too badly damaged. Usually when it's wiggling around in there, it's not too bad. But the spine slash kind of annoys me. But the spine slash, that happens when it's at the warehouse and they're like unboxing the, and they take that damn blade from across the box. And it could be easily avoidable if they would just put some of that like brown thick paper like on the top of the box to kind of give it like a nice little layer, so that way when the blade goes into the box, it will just cut like the brown, paper or whatever. If they would just put some of that in there, you could completely avoid that. It's such an easy thing to avoid. Or if you just lift the flaps of the box and then you take the blade and you cut it like this, but what are you gonna do? All right, so we're taking the plastic off. Okay, let me take the nice little slip off. Here's the slip for it, or the L card, or J card, I mean. I wish it came with a slip. I wish these came with slip covers. There we go, Best Buy exclusive. All right. This is the front. I'm trying to say. This is the front of the Steelbook, Doctor Strange, and his different looks. Some people were complaining it's a little bit plain. I agree, but it does have a kind of a unique look to it when you see it in person. It's kind of cool. Like, I like how it transitions from, the different multiverses, the different versions of him and stuff. That's kind of cool. Here's Wanda. God, I'll tell you what, man. Elizabeth Olsen is just gorgeous. Just a gorgeous woman, man. Oh my God. Oh, I just can't get over how beautiful she is. I have no problem them putting her face on the Steelbook at all. Holy God. This is a gorgeous woman. And there's that lovely spine slash right there. See, I gotta like kind of hide my face and then it might come up a little bit better. Maybe not. Hold on. Try to go like this. Yeah, that damn spine slash, man. Nope. All right, let's fix this disc before that gets more damage than it is already. Let's see. Any scratches or anything? No, I don't see any scratches. It does look like there's like a little bit of like a... You ever get these discs and it looks like there's like a thumbprint on them or something like that, like a little bit of a print? Like, I don't know if it's like a robot that puts these in or if it's just a guy sitting at a desk putting these discs in. Sometimes like a little finger smudge will get on there. It's not a big deal. You can just wipe it off. But I do notice that quite often, that there will be like, either like a little smudge of like a fingerprint, or there'll be like a little bit of like almost like dust on the disc. It's so weird. I suppose they're just at a factory, so dust is to be expected a little bit, but the fingerprints, or not, and it's just like a little, I don't know if you guys can see it. You probably won't be able to see this, but there's just like a little, yeah, I don't think it's gonna pick it up. There's just like a little, like, yeah, like a thumbprint or a little fingerprint on there, just a little bit, like right there on the edge of it, like, okay, that's interesting. I just always assumed that it was like a machine just like putting these in or something, you know what I mean? But it probably is just some guy going like bam, bam, just putting them in. I don't know. All right, but we have some pretty nice artwork on these discs actually. So we got Doctor Strange right there. We got the Show Stealer right there. Scarlet Witch. Screen Stealer, Show Stealer. Badass of this movie for sure. And then we got some nice inside artwork. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's like a monument to Doctor Strange in that universe there. That's pretty neat. Sorry for the glare. I'm trying to avoid it. It's just so hard, You want it to look good on camera, but then it like ends up like, you know what I mean? It's like if you go too dark with the lights, you end up looking blurry and you can't see enough. If you go too bright with the lights, you end up having the glare. It's like a no-win scenario. But this looks pretty good. Actually, let me look at this disc while I got it out too. Any fingerprints on this one? No, that one looks pretty good. That one looks pretty good. Alright, so we got that. Boop. Pop that right back in there. Pop that one right back in there. Boom, boom. And I'll show you guys the full picture. Very cool. Very cool. And of course it comes with the digital code. Yeah, it comes with the digital code, I don't want to show that obviously, because sometimes I do redeem these, sometimes I don't. I might eventually just start giving these away, or if I start doing like streams and stuff like that, maybe I'll save some of these and give them away or whatever. I'm not quite sure. I've redeemed a lot of them, but I don't often watch them online. I usually will just watch the 4K disc or whatever, or the Blu-ray. So, I don't know. Sometimes I just save them and I'm like, oh, maybe, I'll give them away or whatever one of these days. But yeah, this movie is very good if you guys haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil it too much for people that haven't seen it, but yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good, a lot of people say that this is more of a Scarlet Witch story than a Doctor Strange story. It's like, I can see that. I think it's both. I think they do a good job with both. I think the problem is I'm not too keen on the relationship between Doctor Strange and Rachel McAdams' character. I just don't think they have a lot of chemistry, and they're both great performers, great actors and everything, but they just don't have that chemistry on screen, so it never comes through, you know what I mean? Like with Captain America and Peggy Carter, you felt the chemistry between them, so it worked, but with this movie you just don't really feel it, or at least I don't. But it does focus a lot on Wanda. I mean, it definitely does, but that can be expected with all these movies, kind of all these universes and all these different characters are starting to like intermingle inside of their own, inside of the different movies and different TV shows and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, with like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you had characters from other movies and television shows coming in there, and with all these shows, really, you know what I mean? You get a little bit of that, so it's fine. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I actually think that Doctor Strange keeps it fairly tame. I know a lot of people they weren't happy with the cameos and stuff that were in it, but I like the cameos. I thought they were good. They're nothing like too crazy. I mean, a couple of them were, but I don't think you need to have huge cameos in every single MCU movie. And for what they used the cameos for in the movie, I think it was perfect. You know what I mean? And yeah, and I thought America Chavez was good in this movie. She was kind of just like the MacGuffin, kind of like just like this thing that you need to kind of push the story forward. Like she's like the thing that everybody's after because she can open portals to different dimensions and all that stuff. So you kind of need her, you know. And you could have just made her, like, in a lot of movies, they would just have it be like a magical staff or a magical book or like an inanimate object of some sort to kind of like open portals and dimensions, but instead they make it a person who has the power to do it. So that's cool, because at least you have somebody that you're getting some emotions off of, and it just makes it a little bit more enjoyable when you're watching the movie, because you have somebody that Doctor Strange can kind of play off of, because he's kind of got that dry wit, and she's kind of this kind of a little bit more happy, bubbly type, because she's just a young girl or whatever. So good personality, good actress. I thought she did a decent job and everything. So they didn't give us a ton of her, so they gave us a little bit of her backstory, but I'm sure they'll incorporate her into some of the next movies and stuff. Maybe even give her own movie. I don't know. But she was decent. But this definitely is Wanda's show, and I like that this movie actually feels like it really is Marvel trying to do like a horror type movie, And I think they push that PG-13 is about as far as Marvel's willing to push it until we see Blade. Maybe they'll push it a little bit further, but I think you get some pretty good, gruesome stuff. Like nothing too gory or anything like that or blood, but I think they do a good job with kind of playing around with it. Like you'll see it. They're creative with the PG-13 rating, some of the kills and stuff that are in here are pretty good. I think Marvel did a pretty good job with it. And I love the looks. There are different looks of Doctor Strange throughout this movie without getting into big spoilers or anything, but it is the Multiverse of Madness, And he's got some iconic looks. So yeah, I think I'll get into spoilers now. So if you haven't seen the movie, I just kind of wanted to show off the Steelbook and everything. So if you're going to dip out now, then please drop me a like. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. But now moving on to the spoiler portion. Yeah, I really thought it was cool when Scarlet Witch, at the end, like, you get introduced to all these, you get introduced to Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four, and you get introduced to a different type of Captain Marvel. I forgot what her name is. But you get introduced to her, you get Professor Xavier, you get, who else was on that thing? You get Professor Xavier, you get that, you get, Captain Carter, and you get, Black Bolt. So when I was talking about before, you get these creative kills and everything, like Black Bolt's kill, I thought was really well done, because you didn't have to add a ton of blood or anything to it. His eyes went a little like bloody, and a little bit of blood came out of his nose, and his head got caved into one side. That was cool. Like that was pretty ballsy of Marvel. For a Marvel movie, trust me, guy, like that's pretty dark for them. And then you just see like, Mr. Fantastic getting cut into shreds, Professor Xavier gets his freaking neck snapped. I mean, you get a lot of cool kills. The Captain Marvel chick gets smashed, and then my favorite one is Peggy Carter. Oh no, I called her, what did I call her? Did I call her Captain Carter? I mean, I guess she is Captain Carter, but it's Captain Britain, I believe is her name. Captain Britain. Um, Peggy Carter is her name. But yeah, you know, she's like the Captain America or Captain Britain of this, you know, universe. And, you know, she throws the shield at Wanda. Wanda catches it, throws it back, and like just splits her down the middle. Now you don't get like I said, like a lot of blood. You see the blood on the shield, and then it's kind of like, you know, hazy in the background when you see her kind of like fall. You know, she kind of like splits into or whatever. But it's still really cool. That's dark for Marvel. So I enjoyed that. You know, if we get that kind of stuff in Blade, I'll be happy with that too. I mean, I don't think you'll ever beat Wesley Snipes for me. I like Mahershala Ali. He's a good actor, but Wesley Snipes just has that charisma that oozes off of him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you'll ever beat him. But anyway, and then what else do we got? You got the so you got that whole sequence. I thought that was cool. That was a fun way to have some cameos in the movie without it feeling like overdone. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to throw like Wolverine in there and Ghost Rider and like all these other, but you didn't have to throw in all these other crazy cameos. Even though those would have been cool. You know, maybe Iron Man. A lot of people were speculating there would be like Tom Cruise would be playing Iron Man or something. Like, all that's like fun in theory, but I think the way they did it was cool because she just ended up killing him anyway, you know, so that was dope. I mean, you know, I just thought that was so much fun. I just love how she shredded through that version of the Avengers. It was great. And then Doctor Strange, I love that look of Doctor Strange. You know, those of you who've seen the movie at the end where he's got like all the, you know, the undead version of Doctor Strange, like the corpse is reanimated, and you know, he's doing like his like seance thing to reanimate the corpse. This is where it gets very like, because Disney is very, you know, doesn't usually get into like the demonic type stuff, but this was very demonic. I mean, he's literally performing a seance or whatever, you know, he brings back like his undead self from a different universe. And then he has all these corpses flying into him or whatever, and they basically create like these giant wings. So you just have this giant undead, you know, creature with wings and a bunch of different arms and stuff, and it looks like this evil demon Doctor Strange type thing, and it's amazing looking. I'm sure there will be a cool figure of that will come out eventually. I'll definitely have to buy it because it looks insane. I loved it. I wish it was in the movie longer. That's my only gripe with it. I wish that was in the movie longer because it looks so badass. So that was cool. Yeah, and then like I said, the only thing that kind of weighs down the movie is you just don't buy the relationship between Doctor Strange and I forgot her name. Yeah, I forgot what the girl, what Rachel McAdams' character. I forgot what her name is, but I just didn't really buy that. So that was the only thing. But I love Doctor Strange. I think he's got like amazing powers. They look so cool on the big screen. I just love that, you know, he has to like cast incantations and spells, and he has just like, you know, in order to like create like, you know, his portals, he's got to do the thing, and then in order to fly, he's got to have his cloak. So it's not like he's necessarily like, he's powerful, but he still has to like create spells and rely on you know, different magical objects to kind of help him along and stuff. I love that part. It's not just him that's powerful, but he needs like, you know, to actually perform the spells and to actually, you know, have like these different things. He's not just powerful on his own, you know. I mean, a little bit he is, but like, you know, I think that's cool. I like that. Yeah, I think that's about it. But yeah, I just wanted to give like a quick little review on the movie. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I'm missing. I think those were all like the fun parts, you know. I like it when at the beginning of the movie, him and Wong are, you know, defeating that giant like octopus monster with that one big eye, and he just like stabs it through the eye, and the like blood and goo and stuff comes out of it. That was really cool. I like it when he throws the evil version of Doctor Strange out the window, and he just gets impaled on the spike outside. That whole sequence is so like Sam Raimi. That's what I forgot. I can't believe I forgot to talk about Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi, Good Lord, and Jesus, I just noticed this frickin', I just noticed another little dent here. Look at that shit. Unbelievable. That looks like somebody dropped it outside. That's what that almost looks like. That almost looks like it hit the gravel or something, like hit the ground or something. See that? Anyway, Sam Raimi directed this thing, and he just does such a good job. I mean, he directed the original 3 Spider-Man movies, with Tobey Maguire, and he just brings his, like, he obviously directed the Evil Dead franchise. Well, he directed the first 3 Evil Dead movies, and he brings a lot of that Evil Dead horror to this movie, which is great. Like that whole scene where he reanimates himself and everything, Doctor Strange reanimates himself. That was fantastic. That felt straight like out of Evil Dead. All the different like ghosts and stuff flying into him, all the spirits, that felt very much like Evil Dead. They're all like as they're like flying into him. That was definitely a Sam Raimi touch. And of course you get a cameo from Bruce Campbell. Of course, you got to have the Bruce Campbell cameo, which is always welcome. That's very Sam Raimi. He always gets him in there. And yeah, just the overall look, everything. They really let Sam Raimi direct this movie, and I give them a lot of props for that. I'm glad Disney let him just kind of do his thing, for the most part. I'm sure he wanted to go darker with it, but Sam Raimi knows. He directed the first 3, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans and everything, so he knows what he can get away with and he can't. Like, he has an idea of how dark he can go, because all those movies were PG-13 as well, so, he knows. But he did a phenomenal job. He really did. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Sam Raimi. I just, anything like this, I hope for the next Doctor Strange movie they're able to get Sam Raimi back, because he just does such a good job. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think I covered just about everything that I wanted to cover. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, if you guys haven't subscribed to me yet or anything like that, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It really does help. And, this is Anthony's Horror More, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.